Follow Goa News Hub on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Hello and welcome on this edition of Hub Encounter. We have someone with us who was sitting on at this side of the chair until yesterday, but now who is sitting in the opposite side. He was a journalist, he still remains to be a journalist, but right now he is the person who will represent Bharatiya Janata Party in various media interviews, debates, and he will defend BJP-led government. We have with us Goa State Spokesman for BJP, Savio Rodrigues.
Thank you,
Welcome.
Namaste.
In fact, how do you feel being that side?
I actually see it to be a very responsible role, Rupesh, primarily because the BJP government at the state, coupled with the BJP policies at the center, need to reach out and need to be spoken of to a large audience within the state and nationally as well. There has been some work by the opposition to convolute the messages of the government in terms of policies and importance for the people of India and Goa as well. And my job is to ensure that the clutter of the opposition in their voices is dumbed down with the truth. That's really what it is.
Okay, now how much would you defend BJP as such and how much would you defend state government as such?
Well, I think it's a combination of both because the state government does not work defunct of the center. I think the best bit of BJP at the center and BJP in Goa is that they work cohesively together. The policies of the BJP government dovetails into the policies of the center because at the head you have Prime Minister Narendra Modi leading the growth of India. And Goa is no different. Goa falls into the pattern of the growth of India plan, and that's how it's going to work.
I'm talking about BJP party because sometimes there is difference between party and the government, and we have seen it often coming out in public domain also. Party says, okay, I don't agree, but it's a government decision.
Okay, in that context, let me put it as clearly as possible because the party and the government come from the same family. So just like you would be in any family, there's going to be a difference of opinion. But at the end of the day, my job is to defend the party and defend the government and to find a middle pathway when there is a difference between both.
Which is a priority for you, BJP or state government?
The people of Goa is a priority for me.
No, but as far as the seat is concerned, you're sitting on the seat of a spokesman. So,
as the spokesperson also of the party's role has always been to work in the interest of the people. So I think more importantly, whether the government is right or whether the party is right, as a spokesperson, I have to be the middle pathway to choose and bring both of them together when there is a conflict. So for me, how do you differentiate when both are different is what is the interest of the people? Because either of them can go absolutely wrong sometimes. Some would be right, some would be wrong. That middle pathway is what is in the interest of the people of Goa. And to me, that's more private.
Does it also mean that if required, you will be speaking against the government?
If it's in the interest of the people, I will always raise the issue with the government, not against the government.
But not in public domain?
No, if it need be, it can be on a public domain as well.
So, your priority is BJP?
My priority is the people of Goa.
People of Goa. Okay, so how do you, first of all, whether someone agrees or doesn't agree, there has been religious discriminations, rather than discrimination, I would say religious classifications that are happening in Goa. How would you, a Catholic person, react to Savio Rodrigues becoming BJP spokesman in the wake of certain controversies that have been surfacing often in the state and the center?
Well, the controversies, Rupesh, having been a journalist and having seen a lot of it in Goa and the rest of India, these conflicts will continue to exist. And being a student of religion and conflict, when I mean a student, last year I completed a course online with the Harvard University on this itself. You would realize it's not a conflict very. You
did a course on religions then?
Yeah, religion, conflict and peace.
Okay.
With the Harvard University. The thing with them is, if you'll study conflicts around the world, every nation has a conflict that is surrounding religion itself. That's why I'm sort of working on some sort of theory that religion is the root cause of conflict in the world. In India also you will see that. It's not unusual. You will see a conflict between religions, which will be Hinduism, which will be Christianity, which will be Islam. The only way you supersede religious conflict, because you can't argue over religion, because everybody thinks his way is the right way or her way is the right way, is when you look at it through the prism of humanity. And that is exactly what I propagate, even if you see my
yeah, academic discussion and finance asaवे, but आम्ही पहिला we have seen की large section of Catholic population जे आसा पळय, they are not accepting BJP. It's always they are against BJP.
Correct, Rupesh. I completely agree with you. I'm not disputing what you're saying.
When you are, I'm not classifying you as a Christian leader or something like that. But by birth you are Christian. तू जेन्ना बसता पळय ह्या चेराचेर, तुका दिसना.
Because I'll tell you why. Okay, I don't classify myself as a Catholic or a Christian first. I classify myself as a human first. Number one. Second, I'm an Indian. So that's why in most of my articles and most of my writing or talks, I always say I'm an Indian Christian. Because our real identity comes with the nationality attached to us. So even, for example, when you travel abroad, and the reason why I'm saying that is because today a Catholic is more an Indian first than a Catholic, right? His religious beliefs, his religious faith has absolutely nothing to do with his nationalism. That is really where the problem is. The problem is when religion is getting convoluted with nationalism. Religion cannot get convoluted with nationalism because it's got nothing to do with nationalism. So today I can be a Catholic, I can be a Muslim, I can be a Hindu, and I can be a nationalist that loves India. So you have people of the Muslim faith who work for the country, work for the interests of the country, and have given up their lives for this country. Much the same way you have Hindus, you have Catholics, you have Sikhs, you have Parsis that have done it. So religion cannot be your grounds for nationalism. The problem what is happening in some parts of the country, and it's happening across all religious denominations, is trying to prove who does India belong to. India does not belong to any religion. India belongs to the people who follow the principles and the constitution.
No, again I am not on this academic discussion. My question is very simple, and I'll ask you in Konkani.
Sure.
गोंयचे क्रिश्चन आसा पळय न्ही, ते बीजेपीक चड करून वोट कित्याक मानना? दो खुबशे MLAs क्रिश्चन MLAs बीजेपीच्या हाजेर येता, बट वी हॅव सीन लार्जली की क्रिश्चन पॉप्युलेशन बीजेपीक एक्सेप्ट कित्याक करना?
Because of the fear psychosis, no? The general perception that a Catholic has.
गोंयान कसलो फियर आनी आसता?
Well, that is something that you need to ask them, because I'm a Catholic myself, right? I'm trying to understand what their fear psychosis is. Their fear psychosis is they see it as a Hindu majority political party. I don't agree with it being a Hindu majority political party, because for that context, every political party, a large political party, by virtue of Hindus being the majority, will have a large amount of Hindus in it, no? So you can't say Hindu majority party. So that fear of BJP, that fear of RSS, which has been propagated for the last 70 odd years, has been the core reasons why the Catholic population is afraid of the BJP. Let me ask you, and let me tell you why I'm asking this. Let's take the Vellum constituency, for example. In the Vellum constituency, there were 10,600 odd beneficiaries of government schemes. If you analyze the total beneficiary of government schemes, almost 65 to 60% of people were from the Catholic community who took the beneficiary schemes that were there by the government. If you go by that, it clearly means that the Catholic or the Christian populations don't have a problem with the government. No, if they had a problem with the government, why would they take the government benefits? Right?
So why they don't vote for BJP?
I don't know whether that's true, Rupesh. I'll tell you why. These Salset constituencies, yes, the Salset is a constituency that's heavily dominated by the Catholic population, and they are very, very strong. I wouldn't say anti-BJP, but not really pro-BJP, right? They choose a political party that might be contrary to the BJP. That choice is something that we have to work on. You see, normally what happens in politics is people say, okay, these people are not for us, so we will try to work with them. Why, when Mr. Parikar was there, the Salset bastion was taken over. It was taken over because Mr. Parikar was able to bridge that gap with the Christian population, with the Catholic population, to ensure that the so-called divisive understanding of the BJP politics does not exist when an educated person like Mr. Parikar was at the helm of affairs, right? And that is why you had seats like Benaulim, you had seats like Whelan, you had seats that were predominantly hard Christian dominance that actually came in support to the BJP as an independent, and you had BJP representation in the Salset community. We need to build on that. The Indian population of Christians need to understand that in the future growth, look at it from a political point of view. You need to work with governments to make your state or your constituency better. Conflicting with governments on basis of religion is where the entire situation gets convoluted. I'm saying today, if the Catholic population feels that there is something wrong with the BJP, isn't it not necessary for the Catholic population to ensure educated Catholics go into the BJP and represent the Catholic community?
But again, your answer for this, actually, you said that it is fear psychosis. There's a fear psychosis among Christian population that
Yes.
BJP, once it is in power, might work against us.
But that's the nature of a psychosis.
And in recent controversies like St. Francis Xavier versus Lord Parshuram are something which are going against the BJP. Do you agree?
Well, firstly, the controversy that started with Subhash Velinkar was something done from his personal capacity. He was a former RSS, he's not a part of the RSS anymore. Is he within his right constitutionally to have a view? The answer is yes. Whether his view is a part of the government has issued absolutely no statement as far as whatever he said. Does it agree or disagree with it? Today, a person has a view. When he acts on the view that's contrary to the constitutional freedoms and liberties that the people of Goa have and the people of India have, that is when the government will take action against it. Today, you have guys like Asaduddin Owaisi and Akbaruddin Owaisi who've made very strong statements. When the government realized that it is contrary to the constitution is when there were cases filed against them and they went to court, and that's how they were given the due process of law. So Subhash Velinkar saying something about St. Francis Xavier for whatever beliefs that he has or whatever theory that he has does not change the fact that the population...
Also it puts you in a very piquant situation, especially because if you are asked to take either of the side, you cannot take any side.
Well,
which is true, as you said.
To me, the side of the truth is the most important.
Which is the truth, side of the truth.
In this issue,
in
this issue, faith has got nothing. Religious faith in governance has absolutely no role. So even if a person was Subhash Velinkar or the person was the priest in Navilim who made the statements about how you should defeat the BJP and how you should vote, is immaterial in matters of governance because we are a secular country, right? The problem, Rupesh, in all fairness, is the understanding of the word secular. People assume secular is the acceptance of all religion in matters of governance, which means today, I'm okay if you're a Muslim does what he does, a Hindu does what he does, a Christian or a Sikh does what he does. Actually, that's the wrong definition of secularism. The right definition of secularism is acceptance of no religion in matters of governance, which means that if I'm a Hindu, the government, which the people consider to be a Hindu majority government, should not look at me in favor. It should look at me as an Indian citizen. So whether I'm a Hindu, whether I'm a Muslim, whether I'm a Christian, the government has to see me in the same light. And that's exactly what the Narendra Modi government is doing. In fact, the Narendra Modi government, if you go by social media posts, has been victimized by the Hindu majority population only, no?
Okay, now let's come to the business. Now, how would you define some things? One is like cylinder prices. They have said we will give you 3 cylinders free. Then it went on to only to BPL families. Secondly, cylinder prices, LPG prices are hiked, petrol prices are hiked. Now, how would you defend all these things in support of government as a spokesman?
Okay, I'll tell you what I understand. I will explain. Like I understand petrol prices very.
People will ask you these questions.
I agree. The reason why petrol prices have been going high over a period of the last couple of months is primarily because there's really an oil crisis happening in the world. Okay, an oil crisis that is affecting every nation that functions on oil. So today, the government, in its little effort to bring down the prices, has ensured that certain states and told states to reduce the VAT prices that are there. The BJP states have complied to the VAT reduction of VAT prices, thereby bringing the petrol prices slightly down. I'm not saying it's really down, but it's
Except Goa,
except
your
Goa,
own state.
yeah, except Goa, and I believe Madhya Pradesh as well, right?
So you have to defend for Goa right now.
We have to bring the prices down, is what I'm saying.
Will you appeal
Yes, I will
Pramod
appeal to,
Sawant
I will appeal to Pramod Sawant to bring the prices down as far as the VAT is
by
concerned.
reducing VAT on this?
Yes, just like all the other states have done. I agree. It should be brought down. If the government has if the centre has asked for states to reduce the VAT prices, then in all fairness, the Goa government must reduce the VAT prices as well.
How do you?
And I will appeal to
How
that.
do you defend this U-turn of initially telling everyone that you will get 3 cylinders a year free, and then going back on the word and then saying that okay, it's only for below poverty line families?
Well, honestly, Rupesh, I have to study that bit of it. I don't have an answer to it, but it is a valid question. When I get an answer to it, you'll be the first to know about it. But right now, I don't have.
You are a spokesman of the government.
I am the spokesperson of the
Already
government.
in the chair,
Already in the
crowned.
chair. Completely agree.
You have
with
arrived, Savio.
But no, but the truth is, I cannot answer what is wrong, right? Now, I understand that the three-cylinder bit is something that they probably altered the way they wanted to work it. To get the right definition of the reasons, I should give you a right answer. No, I can't give you a wrong answer. I rather say that I don't know than to give you a wrong answer, right?
that's not being a spokesman. Spokesman
No.
has to always defend, and we have
Not
seen you
really.
defending BJP in Republic television.
Correct.
With when Arnav
When
was-
I have the facts with me, I normally defend when my facts are correct. When I'm not aware of a particular thing, I have the humility to say I don't know. Spokesperson or no spokesperson. The truth is always the truth, no?
Okay, let's talk about the elections. You lost in Velim constituency.
Correct.
First of all, for everyone, it was a shock that Savio Rodrigues, who was a journalist, suddenly turns out to be a politician and then gets BJP ticket and then contests the election and then, of course, gave a good fight.
Okay, I'll tell you what happened. I had met Prime Minister Modi in September, and I had a very good meeting with Prime Minister Modi, and we discussed a lot of things, and Goa was one of it. And as being me, I shared my views on Goa and what was the need for better policies in Goa. I was more interested in the policy aspects of things, and I'm always interested more in policies. So in the month of December, sometime mid-December, I was told by somebody connected to the Prime Minister, somebody important, that you need to condition yourself to contest the elections if you are interested. And then on December 31st, I was called by the Central Election Committee of the BJP in Goa when they had come down and said, you choose which of the 3 constituencies would you like, because we believe that you should contest the election. Win or lose is immaterial.
And which are the 3 constituencies?
Velim, Benaulim and Navilim.
Navilim.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's primarily because I was originally staying largely in Navilim. So when they'd asked me on the 15th, which are the kind of constituencies, I said I was more interested in Salsette because that's where I wanted to make a difference. And then they gave me the choice of the 3, and I said Velim because my parents and my ancestry comes from Velim. I actually quite enjoyed the elections, Rupesh. I was very, very touched by ground level information as an electoral person. As a journalist, people tell you their views, hoping you would fight for justice and you'd fight for them. As a politician, they are looking at you for solutions. So there's that difference in the communication. And what I realized is that a lot of people, I did face a lot of negative backlash, to be honest, like, oh, you're from the BJP, you're a Catholic, how can you join the BJP? And the same thing you were talking about before. And, I came out with an explanation to almost most of them. The Catholic community right now, in its understanding of the BJP, is like people standing outside a home. So you have a house. where there are people deciding the future of your state, deciding the future of your country, but your voice standing outside that you're screaming, screaming, screaming is not getting inside the room because they are inside
You
the
are
room.
saying all this despite the fact that 50% of BJP MLAs are Christians. Besides the fact that there is a large number of ministers.
I'm saying that for a very simple reason, that one of the largely Christian dominated districts in Goa, which is the Salsette district, still has a large population of people within the Christian community that does not subscribe to the BJP's political ways of working. As a MLA that fought an election, as a political leader that fought an election in Salsette, my view is understanding the nature of the mind of the people and finding a solution to how can I solve their problems in firstly mind and the issues that they have. So their issue is a misunderstanding of what the BJP is. I was able to convince some of them. That is why thereby we got that kind of votes. I think in the next 5 years we will be working with them to convince much more of them because they need to rise above. If you want to make a change in a political system, then that change in that political system only will happen when the Catholic or the Christian himself form those areas, put people within the government, that is a government that is growing in the system itself. How would you? Like, for example, many people tell me, we don't have Christian representations, from Goa, very few Christian representations in the national level. Rupesh, in all fairness, how many Goans do you have from the Christian community or even say from the Hindu community from Goa itself that go into IAS and IFS and IPS? They don't. So how do you expect, like if you go into the parliament even today, what is the representation of the Catholic community in the parliament? I can't even think of one that represents the Catholic community over there. So we have to put people.
We have South Goa MP who's a Catholic.
Correct. No, I'm talking from the BJP. You have them from the Congress. I'm saying from the
You're talking about BJP.
BJP. So today, when the BJP is a growing party at a center, it's a growing party within the state and in other parts of other states as well. For the Catholic community to actually grow in and putting their views forward, there has to be representations within the BJP itself from the Catholic community, from regions like Salsette. That is when you will have your misgivings, your misunderstandings, or even maybe some of the right understandings cleared. Because eventually representation is what matters. No?
Is it also like religious engineering for BJP? We have seen one spokesman, Urfan Mullah, representing Muslim community.
Correct.
And proudly representing Muslim community. We have you who's representing Christian community as spokesman. So the panel of spokesmen itself indicates that BJP is has started its 2027 exercise right now on the day one of the current tenure.
Well, Rupesh, I'd like to think I'm a Christian representation, but the kind of questions I've been raising against the institutions on some of the evils that have been prominent, a lot of the Christians themselves don't see me as a representation of the Christians, to be honest and fair about it. So I don't think BJP has put me in because I represent the Catholic community. BJP has put me in purely because I have the understanding of the constitution very well and I'm a nationalist. So at the end of the day, whether I'm a Catholic or not is immaterial to my governance. Whether I'm a Catholic or not is primarily my religious acceptance of how I want to move forward, right? My focus as an Indian is what will define my political journey, not my focus as a Catholic or a supporter of Hindus or Muslims. That's how I will move forward.
Last question, an important issue that we have been following is the Kannadigas in Panchayat election, and largely there is a perception that BJP, perception through Facebook, whether I subscribe to it or don't subscribe to it is another case. BJP has fielded these guys, to cut into the votes. First, my question is, what is your reaction as a BJP spokesman to Kannadigas officially announcing their foray in Panchayat elections?
Well, okay, firstly, if it's within the ambit of the constitutional law, the basic understanding is the divide of Goans and non-Goans, really, okay? The constitution allows for any Indian for me, for example, if I was a Goan and I moved to Maharashtra and I had a chance to participate in an electoral process, panchayat elections or assembly elections, I'm not restricted from doing that, right? So that, for me as a party and as a person that represents a party, I will only go by constitutional freedoms that you have. Can a guy from Bihar, having lived a certain time in Goa, that fits within that the electoral vote processes, contest an election? The answer is yes. Can a guy from Karnataka do the same?
I'm
The
asking
answer is
about
yes.
opinion. I'm not asking about.
But I will have to answer within the framework of the law. No,
I'm
because
asking you as a political party.
as a political
Things are also thought
A
in a
pol-
way that
a
political party will
is
have.
not above the constitution. No?
No, I'm not saying you stop them from contesting.
Correct.
I'm just asking you, what is your reaction to that?
I have no reaction to that.
Whether you agree that such things should happen, whether you disagree that such things should not happen,
I think a person from Karnataka who's lived in Goa long enough and subscribes to the ethos of Goa and wants to contest an election as per constitutional freedoms that he has all the right to do that. The law allows him to do that. Whether I think Goans should supersede that, I think more Goan youth and more Goan young adults must come out themselves to represent Goa in an electoral process. There is no need for a guy from Karnataka and all. But again, that Karnataka bit is again coming from the point of origin of the person. Let's say the guy was even from Bihar, forget Karnataka. Let's say he's even from Bihar. And if he's had domicile over here for long enough to have a hold on the people over there, I don't think I'm anybody to tell him not
And
to.
elections are not about having domicile. Election is about understanding local ethos, and elections are about
Correct. And if
representing people. So in
Correct.
that sense, what is your reaction? Again, I'm coming back to the same point.
I'm also coming back to the same thing. If that person has got a understanding of the cultural ethos and the state ethos and has lived here for a long period of time, and people think that he is worth a leader, then he has the constitutional freedom to have. Haven't we not seen it in CCP elections and all? Some of them are not traditionally Goans, but they are also from outside of Goa. They have contested the elections because they have represented the people of Goa. And if the people of Goa have put the faith in those people who are non-Goans, then who do you blame? The constitutional rights allows you to contest an election. Personally, I think Goans must be the ones that drive the future of Goa. That's my personal opinion. But as a party spokesperson, you have to understand that we have to define ways forward based on the constitutional laws available to us. And that's exactly what I'm doing.
So your personal and party opinion differs here.
My personal opinion, I think it's very important for Goans to take part in electoral process. Staying away from electoral processes and then saying that, oh, this should not happen and that should not happen is not something that's the right way to go forward. If you think you want to bring about a change, you have to be the change in order to bring that change. That's how I see it. So is a man from Karnataka wrong? When I mean Karnataka, I'm talking about his origin being from Karnataka being wrong. And to contest an election in Goa, the answer is no. The law allows him, the constitution allows him to do that, right? Where is it wrong? Is if we as Goans realize that, oh, we'll sit and complain about the Karnataka guy contesting the elections and we don't contest the elections. That is when it is wrong. So we have to, if you think it's wrong, fight it.
Thank you very much. We will meet you often now as
Sure.
spokesman for BJP, and all the best.
Thank you. My pleasure.
This was Savio Rodrigues, spokesman, Goa State Bharatiya Janata Party, and right now defending state governments on various issues. And he says that if there is difference of opinion, he wouldn't hesitate to come out and express it, even if it is against the state government, because Goans first. गोयकार पहिली म्हणटा तूं
Why?
सामको काळजाकडे गोंयकार. Okay, Goans first. You're watching Hub Encounter on your favorite website www.goanewshub.com. Our channel partners are RDX Goa and our production partners are Prasad Deshpande Mentor, goabyland.com. Keep watching us, and before that, please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and if you are an Android phone user, please download our app Goa News Hub. Keep watching us.
Follow Goa News Hub on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Hi, I am Kaushal Palekar.
Hi, I am Ketan Golatkar.
Hanuman Neglur.
Rahul Desai, Neeraj Bandekar, Prasad Deshpande.
Hi, I am Rupesh Samant.
I am associated with
Goa News Hub.
Goa News Hub.
Goa News Hub.
Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Like us,
Share us and subscribe us.
Download our app from Google Play Store.
For latest news updates.
Visit www.goanewshub.com.
Keep watching us.